Great. Welcome, everybody, to the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling Transfer Virtual College Fair. And thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are both off, so the panelists cannot see nor hear you. This is just one of many different sessions being offered, so be sure to sign up for more. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at stripescan.com/Ohio. With that being said, I'd love to present our first institution. So if the institution, the University of Rhode Island, could please join me.
Here, Alvaro.
Awesome. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much. So I'm going to share my desktop with you folks here. So without formal slides prepared, I think the best resource that we can provide for you is kind of navigating our website. And we are the University of Rhode Island. My name is Victor Silva. I'm the transfer counselor here at the university. So I know maybe outside of the mix of the other schools that might be a little bit more local to, but fantastic option here. If you are familiar with Rhode Island, if you're not, we are the smallest state here in the country, only about 70 by 40. So it might be a longer ride, driving to some towns in Ohio than driving through our whole state. But in any case here, University of Rhode Island, we are the flagship institution for the state of Rhode Island. We have, close to 14,500 students on our campus. Every year, we probably bring close to 1,000 transfer students from the area. So either around the country, from 2-year institutions and 4-year institutions. And the breakout is pretty much 50-50 from 2-year to 4-year institutions. Looking at our website here, navigating from our undergraduate admissions website, things to consider. We'll talk about in general the process for what you need to be considered for admission at the University of Rhode Island, but then also some of the things, as far as programs you might be interested in and what we're known for. So we do have 2 intakes in our fall term, which is our largest, probably close to 600, 700 students every year, transfer students in the fall, and then our winter term, so starting just after the new year. Our deadlines for both are listed on the website. The fall, if you're still looking for a home for this coming fall 2021, July 27th, so still plenty of time to get applications in. And we are on the common application. So students that would be completing an associate's degree, you would need to submit the common application and your college transcripts. Without an associate's degree, you would have to submit the common application, your high school transcripts, and your college transcripts, and from all schools attended. Based on that, we then have our transfer requirements, or at least the admissions requirements, are pretty straightforward and transparent here. So with less than an associate's degree, 60 credits or less for most of our programs, it's a 2.5 GPA to be considered for admission, while meeting some of the units for our freshman requirements. Less than 24 credits at 2.8. And then if you do have your associates, a 2.4 GPA. We do offer merit scholarships at the University of Rhode Island for transfer students, so definitely something that you can be considered for, and there's no extra application. It's done at the time that I review your files. Moving from there, our programs and probably what we're most known for, we have great programs in anything related to marine sciences, marine biology, marine engineering. Our College of Engineering itself is a brand new building. The Fascitelli building for our engineering, College of Engineering. All of our buildings you can see here on our virtual tour. So if anyone's interested, I can share links, and definitely after the presentation too, as we have your contact information. Outside of engineering, our College of Business, AACSB accredited. We are NCAA Division I. We compete in the Atlantic 10 Conference. We are the Rams, and our battle cry here is Rhody, 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 Rams, Rams, Rams. So for those folks interested in a Division I environment, as far as being a fan, or even potentially for recruitment and participating in sports at the NCAA Division I level. Other things to note on here too are our contact information. Very simple. It's transferadmission@uri.edu. I take individual appointments for transfer students. Your transfer process is probably pretty unique to you as a student. So to go through the process with you, to sit down to understand the application, and then what your process would be for transferring then and also your transferable credit. General rule of thumb for our transferable credit would be a grade of C or better when courses that relate to the curriculum. And those credit evaluations are performed after the time of admission. So thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here with this group of great institutions. And if you have any other questions for me or about the University of Rhode Island, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you so much, Alvaro.
Absolutely. Thank you, Victor. And to our audience, again, that was the University of Rhode Island. If you all have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A feature, as Victor will be on the sidelines along with our other panelists to answer them. With that being said, I'd love to invite our next panelist from Ursuline College.
Hi, everybody. My name's Laren. I am one of the assistant directors of admission for transfer students, and I work at Ursuline College in Greater Cleveland, Ohio. We're in Pepper Pike, Ohio, one of Cleveland's suburbs. Let me share my screen. We'll get our presentation going. Let me back this up. Okay, for some reason, let me get it on. Let me move this for a second. Okay, this is our introductory video, and that's my first slide. So let's go with here. Okay, let me stop sharing that for a minute. And let's, well, what's going on here? There we go. And now let's get back. I'm slightly technologically challenged, so you have to forgive me here for a minute. Let me get the rest of the presentation up because I think I closed it. Now let me share this screen again. Let's get back to Zoom. Okay, can you see that screen yet? No, never mind. Okay. Let me get here. Show that screen. Spotify free. Okay, I'm taking up all my time doing this. Okay, so let me just stop that. Ursuline College is known for being, we have a very strong nursing program. We are also we mentioned on the video, one of 2 accredited art therapy programs in the United States, or excuse me, in the state of Ohio. So that gives you the benefit of trying something that, or, trying something that you can't do at most other colleges. We are predominantly a women's focused college. We were at one point 100% women, and now we are a school that has about 90 to 92% women. One of the best parts about Ursuline is that you do have a lot of support in our community. There's a vested interest in your success, and we really work hard with you throughout this course of the process. In addition, and one of the things I think that's important to remember is that we do review your application holistically. So we don't just look at your grades. We have merit scholarships that are available that range from $10,000 to $18,000 a year, in addition to a lot of need-based aid that makes us the 2nd most affordable college in Ohio. Sorry about my presentation, but I will be available for any questions you might have later.
Thank you so much. And again, folks, that was Ursuline College. Feel free to use the Q&A feature if you have any questions. We were glad to answer them along the way. Next school up is going to be Walsh University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessie Canavan. I'm representing Walsh University. I'm going to share my screen and get started. At Walsh, we are very focused on transfer student admissions. And so let me see here. Wanted to identify a few things that over the years I've noticed are top of mind for most transfer students. Starting with academic programs. Students transfer for a number of reasons, and maybe an academic program or wanting to find a school that has the program you're looking for, or you're not sure yet, perhaps, but I will get into that. Let me back up. Sorry, jumped ahead. So Walsh is an independent or private Catholic liberal arts and sciences institution. We're in North Canton, Ohio, which is in kind of the bottom part of Northeast Ohio. We're about an hour south of Cleveland. I'm going to go through these slides pretty quickly. As I mentioned, academics is the top of maybe why you're looking for a new school. And we do have over 100 different programs. I encourage you to go to our website to check those out and explore all of the options. I do want to talk about some of the unique options at Walsh. So you'll see here we have 5 different schools, and we also have 10 new majors this year, and game development, web design, esports, those are some of the big ones in the computer science and technology areas. We're also focusing a lot on really industries that are growing and have a lot of job growth potential for the future. We have some partnerships and accelerated graduate type programs. So if you're interested in a legal program and maybe going on to law school, engineering, or different opportunities post your undergrad, we do have partnerships that would allow you to complete an accelerated program so that you can earn both an undergraduate and graduate degree in less time than you might otherwise. In addition, Walsh University has a wonderful online digital campus. So this is an opportunity for typically working adults. You do have to be 21 years or older. There are some other requirements, but that's kind of the main one. And all of these different programs are available to students. They are primarily online. One of the more popular ones is the Fast Track BSN program. So students who maybe have decided at whether we're looking at a second career, or you've just done a few years of college and you're not sure and you meet those requirements, you can do an online program, keep your day job while you're completing the program, and it's really great option for working adults. And financial aid, or the cost of college, is really kind of the second thing I hear a lot from students, is how are they going to be able to afford it, especially if you are at a college now where you're finding that it is financially feasible. Is another school going to be that way for you? So we try to do our best to be competitive. We offer transfer scholarships to all students. Those range currently up to $12,000. We do have a transfer scholarship for students coming from another Catholic institution, as well as some scholarships based on where you live, as well as others. Let's see here. Want to just quickly mention too, something unique about Walsh is that we have 8-week academic terms. So within the semester, you are studying for 2 different 8-week sessions. So if you're taking, let's say, 5 classes in a semester, you might take 2 during the first 8 weeks and 3 during the second 8 weeks. It allows students to really focus on the academic content that they're learning, and allows for more flexibility with athletics or research, anything that you might be involved with outside of the classroom. ROI, your return on your investment, is another really important thing that students are thinking about. And so just want to mention really quickly that our students definitely are seeing success after graduation. We have 97% career placement rate. 92% of grads will be attending their first choice grad school. Internships really help, and the experiential learning that students receive at Walsh is just imperative to students getting that real world experience and allowing them to really progress in their career upon graduation. I mentioned athletics. Walsh is a Division II school, so even transfer students might be coming in to play a sport. So you can check those out and just connect with us if you want to talk with a coach or anything like that. The final thing I want to mention that transfer students are typically focused on is, am I going to graduate in any time this decade, this century? Because maybe you've already taken a lot of classes and you're thinking about the time to degree completion. So we will work with you. We'll take a look at the credits you've already earned, try to make those as best as possible. And I've seen a lot of really great options for students. Make those work for you at Walsh so that you can complete your degree in a timely fashion. And then we also have a 4-year guarantee for students. And I've listed, this is not me, Alex Littell though, is the transfer counselor at Walsh University. So you can reach out to her, really any of us in the Office of Admissions, and we'll get your questions answered and point you in the right direction. Thank you for your time.
Awesome, thank you. And again, folks, that was Walsh University. Next up, we have Shawnee State University.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Amanda Means. I serve as the Assistant Director for Enrollment Management at Shawnee State University in Southern Ohio. We are located in Portsmouth, Ohio. We are a 4-year institution, a 4-year public, but we also serve a lot of students with associate degrees that lead to really great career placement. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that way you guys can have a peek at some information while I'm talking. All right, I was just talking a little bit about the university in general. I'd like to reintroduce us just a little bit. Again, we're a 4-year public institution, but a little bit about who we are. We are a very accessible institution for not only our first-time freshmen, but for our transfer students. Our transfer admission process is very easy. We try not to have any hurdles to keep students from coming to Shawnee State if they'd like to pursue their degree with us. We are also accessible in our admission requirements. We're open access, so students that might not have been as successful at their previous institution looking for a second try in an associate's or a bachelor's degree, we're usually a really great pathway for students in that situation. And we consider ourselves very accessible when it comes to our price. We are a public institution, and we're among one of the least expensive public institutions in the state of Ohio. In addition to being accessible and a great value, we offer some really amazing high quality degrees, especially those that are really appealing to transfer students. Some of those are some of the 2-year degrees I mentioned that lead to really high job placement rates, like occupational therapy assistant. We also have dental hygiene, our 2-year associate degree in nursing. We also have an RN to BSN 2-year program online for students looking for a bachelor's degree. We also do programs in medical lab technology, 2-year programs in EMT, and a lot of other really great healthcare related fields. In addition to our other 2-year programs that we have some really exciting signature programs at the 4-year level. Some of those are our plastics engineering technology. It's a really great career, and there's a lot of great job placement in the state of Ohio with the plastics industry. We also have a pre-med biomedical sciences degree that we like to brag about, especially because we're able to have our own cadavers right on campus. So our undergraduate students get to dissect human cadavers when they're with us. We also have great programs in geology, business, healthcare administration, and we have a nationally ranked game design program. The results for this year just came out recently. We've been ranked in the top 10 by the Princeton Review for the last 10 years. So we're really excited about that. In addition to having those really fantastic degrees for students, our teachers are very student focused. Some of our faculty members may have research that they're doing on the side, but their primary job is to teach our students in the classroom. And our classrooms are very small. Students won't ever have a teaching assistant or graduate assistant whenever they're in the classroom. And none of our classrooms are very large where a student would walk into a giant lecture hall with 250 students. They're going to be able to see faces that they recognize after their first or second semester, talk to their professor, and be able to visit them in their office hours. A little bit about the admission process at Shawnee State University. First, we have an online application, and we're members of the Common App. We do not have an application fee for our students. We will need students to submit their official college transcripts to us. We do not require high school transcripts for students that are transferring into us. We do ask students to submit an ACT or SAT score if they're applying to an academic program that requires it. And those include some of the 2-year selective programs I mentioned. Sometimes they may require ACT or SAT scores for students that might have under 25 to 30 college credits whenever they're coming in, dental hygiene, OTA, PTA, nursing, and things like that. If you're going into a program that doesn't require them, we do not need copies of test scores. However, if students are coming back to school after a long hiatus, they may want to take a placement test if they don't have a lot of college credits they're transferring in. And we have a big mix of students at Shawnee State. Some of them are doing kind of a 2+2 pathways with us. Some of them are coming back to school and are hoping to use as many transfer credits as possible. And some students are just kind of looking for a change from their current institution. After that, students are accepted. We do roll out decisions on a regular basis. We don't wait for any release dates, and we do accept students for fall, spring, and summer on a continuous basis. I've got one last step there. You might be thinking, why is there an admission step after you're accepted? But again, some of our programs do require a separate application, and I like to mention that because many of our transfer students are interested in those selective programs. Next, I'd like to share a little bit about our price tag. I know sometimes it's hard to find that information online, but again, Shawnee State is one of the most affordable 4-year degree universities in the state. We have our rates for this year posted right now, $8,604 for the full academic year for students going full time. And then for our students that are coming into us and are transferring, if you're within your first 4 semesters or 2 years, we do have students live on campus with us in our housing. I also like to share the tuition so that we can look a little bit about our transfer scholarships. At Shawnee State, we do have some automatic merit-based scholarships for transfer students based on your transfer GPA. If you're transferring in multiple transcripts from other schools, we'll average those together and try to get you a scholarship. And then for our transfer students that are bringing in an associate's degree, we give them a bonus $1,000 tuition scholarship. Students are eligible to maintain those scholarships for 3 years if they maintain a 3.0 GPA. We also have our Shawnee Advantage, which is a tuition guarantee that allows students to maintain their tuition. And then I just have a quick slide here with an infographic about some other great things. Again, classes are very small, nationally ranked programs, low tuition rate, and lots of great student organizations and activities for students. I'm just going to pop back to my very last slide there since I'm getting a little short on time. This is our contact information. This is my contact information. We also have a transfer recruiter, but thank you so much for having me, and I'm available for question and answer now and at the end of the fair. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Amanda is going to drop her contact information in the chat. So keep an eye out for that. Next up, we have Youngstown State University.
Hi all, my name is Kim Avery and I am the Associate Director of Transfer Admissions and Recruitment at YSU. So I've been working with transfer students for about a little over 16 and a half years. So I've worked with transfer students for quite some time now. I just wanted to kind of go over a few items with you. So we do have, and I was just able to redo all of my transfer admissions pages last year. So, but YSU is located in Youngstown, Ohio. We are considered an urban institution. We have roughly around 12,000 students. So we're kind of considered mid-size, but we try to keep our class sizes and our faculty student ratio at a reasonable level. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So the research opportunities at a bigger institution, but also a little bit more interactive and individual attention from instructors, professors. At an undergraduate student, you can do research with the various instructors and professors on campus. We have over 110 majors that you can choose from at YSU. We have 5 specifically online degrees that are degree completion. So criminal justice is a degree completion, having an associate, you move right into that nicely. Allied health, general studies, RN to BSN. And then we do have one fully online with public health. It's a start to finish. You don't have to have a degree prior to that. You can go to our main website, click on the academics, and it takes you to all of our bachelor's degree programs. So that way you can kind of see, oh, what do they have? Application process, we try to keep it very simple. So on our transfer student admissions pages, right at the top, you have your admissions process. It kind of goes through, it has my contact information. So if you want to do an individual appointment, we can do it virtually. We can have you come to campus. My contact information is, right there. Application process is actually down a little bit. It links you to our application. I need the application, the transcripts from each institution you've attended. There is an application fee available, and there's a fee waiver available for veterans. And if you qualify for Pell grants, we can waive your fee for that. And high school transcripts, unless you have an associate degree earned. So you should be good to go with that. Cost at Youngstown State for an in-state student is a little under $9,600 for the year. Western Pennsylvania, the Panhandle of West Virginia, and one county in New York State only pay an additional $360 on top of that. Financial aid and scholarships can bring that information kind of down. We do have a Phi Theta Kappa scholarship of $1,500 for transfer students. I just need proof of membership. It's on our financial aid and scholarships tab. And then we also have, for students who have a 3.0 or higher, we have our merit-based transfer scholarships. We do prorate our scholarships down to 6 hours. So if you're coming and wanting to do some part-time stuff initially, then ultimately, as long as you're enrolled in 6 hours each semester, then we will prorate your scholarship down to 50%. 3/4 time, you get 75%, 12 hours, of course, is full-time, so you get 100% of those amounts. And you can see everything right there on our transfer scholarship on the tab. There's a lot of other things that we have added to the transfer pages. We also take all of our equivalency tables and actually push it into Transferology. So if you are interested in seeing how your credits transfer, I can assist with that. You can also go to transferology.com. You can set up a free account, and that way you can plug in your courses that you've taken at your institution and see what it matches to. If the course is listed as a maybe, that doesn't mean that we won't accept it. It just means that we haven't evaluated it, and we need to do that. So we can go ahead, and if you go into Transferology, you plug all of that in, match it to Youngstown State, then you can actually click on the request information. An email comes to me, I'm in admissions, and my colleague in degree audit, her name is also Kim, so we're known as the Kims, and she will send the course description out to the various departments for evaluation. And then she can get back to you and say, oh, this math class at X institution matches this math class at YSU. So it kind of can help you figure out what does it match to, and then go to the academics page and kind of say, oh, I'm interested in biology. And you can pull the curriculum up in for the biology major that you're interested in, or psychology or allied health, or whatever you are wanting to do, and see, oh, I have that course done. That course matches that. I'm checking that off my list. I can also help with that with providing preliminary evaluations. So if you have any questions, I'll put my contact information in the chat. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful evening.
Whoops, my video went out there. Thank you so much, Kim. Again, folks, that was Youngstown State University. And our last school to present is going to be the University of Cincinnati, Blue Ash.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Tate, and I'm the Director of Admissions for the University of Cincinnati's Blue Ash College. I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you while we transition and prepare to start the presentation. So I hope that you can see my presentation. I'm not sure that you can, but I hope so. It's a great day to be a Bearcat, and we're excited that you've chosen to be a part of this presentation this evening. You're probably expecting to hear about Blue Ash College, and you're going to get some bonus content tonight, because the University of Cincinnati actually offers 2 regional colleges at the University of Cincinnati, Blue Ash and Claremont. So you get a little bonus content tonight. And both regional colleges really provide, are transfer friendly and very welcoming to transfer students. In fact, while most students choose to attend our Uptown campus in one of the academic colleges like the Linder College of Business or the College of Education, Criminal Justice, Human Services, or any of the other excellent academic colleges on our Uptown or main campus, many transfer students really enjoy the small, nurturing environment of the regional campuses. We'll talk about some of those benefits to you in just a moment, but I did want to let you know that you get a little bonus content tonight and get to hear about Claremont in addition to Blue Ash College. Just some basic information about each college in terms of enrollment. There's nearly 40,000 students at the University of Cincinnati, Uptown or main campus. UC Blue Ash College has nearly 5,000 students, and Claremont has over 3,100 students. You know, when we talk with transfer students, one of the things they get most excited about is the affordability of our campuses. They want to be Bearcats, but the tuition for both of our campuses is approximately half of the Uptown tuition. Again, this is for Ohio residents. But it makes college very affordable. We do offer tuition reciprocity and metro rates for those who live in Kentucky and Indiana as well. So, but really affordability and access are at the heart of our mission and all that we do. We are an open admission, open access institution. And again, transfer students really appreciate that nurturing environment, the affordability, the small class sizes, and just the attention that they get. Blue Ash College is located in Blue Ash, Ohio. We're approximately 12 miles north of the Uptown or Clifton campus. And we feature nearly 50 degree and certificate programs, nearly 5,000 students. And we have a park-like campus with 135 acres. Both campuses, Blue Ash and Claremont, really provide a broad spectrum of academic programs. And so transfer students really like the diversification of what they can accomplish academically and professionally. Some students come to us because they want to complete their degree as soon as possible. And so they can do that, whether they're looking to be nurses, vet tech, rad tech, maybe they're wanting a degree in IT. All of these programs are in demand, provide real world experience, and they're destination programs within our colleges. So they're great options for transfer students who really want to maybe minimize the time on campus, but maximize what they accomplish. Most students come to our campuses, though, for transition-oriented associate degree programs, meaning that they're going to complete their degree in something like psychology or communications or biological sciences or criminal justice and so on, and then ultimately transition to the uptown or main campus and complete their degree in one of the academic colleges. So it really it's a win-win situation for our students. They become Bearcats. They do it from an affordable, accessible, and nurturing environment, and then make that transition for their bachelor degree completion. And speaking of bachelor's degrees, we also offer, our college offers 2 bachelor's degrees that are offered completely online through UC Online, and both colleges, Claremont and Blue Ash, offer a Bachelor in Technical and Applied Studies through UC Online. Again, it's a completely online degree and really helps our students with degree completion if they're looking from an online aspect or component. I want to take a minute to introduce you to Claremont College as well. They're located about 25 miles east of Clifton. They have such a beautiful campus. And even though we offer many of the similar programs, they have some unique programs that are worth mentioning. They have an outstanding aviation pilot program, a physical therapy assistant program, respiratory care, surgical technology, and much more. So even though we offer very similar programs, there are some distinct and unique programs among each campus. And if you're an athlete, I want to encourage you to strongly consider Claremont College. They have 7 athletic teams that play in the United States Collegiate Athletic Association. Includes men's basketball, baseball, and soccer, as well as women's basketball, soccer, softball, and volleyball. And by the way, they are highly competitive. They've won 5 national championships, and it's certainly something that our students value and appreciate. If they want to continue athletics, they can do so at Claremont as a UC Claremont Cougar and still transition to the Uptown campus to complete their degree and graduate as a Bearcat. Some resources that I want to provide to you. Myself, my coworker and colleague and esteemed friend who is my counterpart at the Claremont College campus, Blaine Kelly, and also the UC Transfer and Transition Advising Center is such a great resource. They will welcome and meet with any prospective student, transfer student that just wants to determine, hey, which program and which campus might be the best fit for them. So I just encourage you to reach out to us if we can help you navigate that process in any way. And we just appreciate this opportunity to present and connect with you this evening.
Thank you so much, Brad. So I'm going to welcome back everyone, all the panelists that participated, because we're going to do a very quick Q&A session. It looks like we are running about 5 minutes till, but I would love to get some advice for our audience. So we're going to go in the same order that we presented, and that would be the University of Rhode Island first. And the first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the transfer process?
I think that's a great question. And I'm going to split into 2 parts of my piece of advice here in the short amount of time. The biggest one is make a connection with your transfer counselor, the admissions counselor, the advisor, whoever it is. We're here to guide you through the process, and we want to make it as user-friendly as possible for you. Great people here on the panel. The second is be selfish. This is your opportunity. You know, you've done all the right things. You're taking classes that have, you know, that are going to transfer. You save some money financially. You know, you're setting yourself up for this next step in your academic career. So go through all of it, pros and cons, and, you know, think about yourself and what's going to be the best situation for you moving forward.
Sweet. Thanks a lot, Victor. Next up, we have Ursuline College.
Hi, I agree totally with Victor that the first and most important thing that my advice would be to stay in close contact, reach out, don't be shy. And I also think another important thing to do is to definitely be your own best advocate. That there's humility is the admission process is no time for humility. So thanks.
Thank you a lot, Lauren. Next up, we have Walsh University.
Hi, I echo those sentiments, and I would add, if you're thinking about transferring, don't delay the process. Reach out to those schools that you're looking at now and start having conversations. You're not signing anything that's binding. You can start exploring now all the way through how your credits will transfer and what financial aid you'll receive. And you can always change your mind, and that way you can explore, have time to make a really great decision for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. Next up, we have Shawnee State University.
Great, thank you so much. Everybody's had such great advice. One thing that I would add is just because you're transferring, especially if you're going from a 2-year to a 4-year, it's okay for you to visit campus. Come to campus, meet with a transfer associate. I know that schools are slowly transitioning to in-person events, but take advantage of those virtual tours so you can get a really good feel for campus and its culture and then the resources they have.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Next up, we have Youngstown State University.
Yeah, I think everybody else took some of mine on my answers. So yeah, planning early. I don't think you can plan early enough. I work with students sometimes for 2 years and get them on track. And also advocate for yourself. If you think a course can substitute, ask. Worst case, they say no. But sometimes if you ask, they're like, maybe. And then the department can make that substitution for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. And then we're going to wrap up this question with the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash and Claremont. Did I hear that as well?
That's right. Thanks so much. Yeah, great advice, everyone. And I would just add, when working with transfer students for many years now, they're really looking, how quickly can I graduate, and affordability. And, I think all those things are important. I just want to echo what Amanda said, that it also comes down to best fit. So look at, visit campus or virtually visit campus, or, make sure that you're going to be happy and successful there, because time to degree to completion and affordability is important, but ultimately it has to meet your academic and professional goals, and it needs to be a good fit for you. So a wise person considers all their options. So take a look at all these options, because ultimately it'll be a different choice for each student. So thanks for the opportunity to share that advice.
Absolutely. Thank you a lot, Brad. So we are doing really good on time, folks. And I definitely want to get to this really fun question that really highlights what is happening around campus. So same order, and we're going to start off with the University of Rhode Island. What is your favorite event or tradition that happens on campus?
So there's a lot. We have our first night, which I think is a great opportunity for new students, especially transfer students, to get acclimated to the culture on campus. And it's a lot of different events, social events on campus, and also an opportunity to meet every single organization, club, office, to understand who's there to help you while you're here on campus. And then if I can jump in quickly, we have a state rivalry in basketball with Providence College. It's a big deal every year. We always look forward to it. We camp outside, even as employees, to get tickets for the game the next day. So, there's a lot of school spirit, and I think you'll find that most of the students at the University of Rhode Island are involved in something. You're not just going, to and from class to home or to their dorm. They're really active on campus.
Thanks a lot, Victor. And I'm sure we're going to hear about a lot of healthy rivalries throughout this conversation right now. So next up is the Ursuline College.
Hi, one of my favorite traditions at Ursuline is, well, it's not really a tradition. It's one of my favorite events they have. The favorite thing they do is they have this, they call them the magical mystery tours. So the students sign up for these mystery buses and they have no idea what they're going to. And it takes them to a really fun, creative activity. They've done, trips to the Indians games. They've gone to see the Cavs play. They've also surprised people with just manis and petties and spa days. So it's just a wonderful, fun activity that they tell you kind of what to pack, and then boom, you're off and you have no idea what you're doing. And it's just a terrific, fun time for everybody.
Yeah, that sounds super neat. I'm kind of jealous that I didn't get to experience that. Next up, we have Walsh University.
Hi, I would say at Walsh, I think one of the traditions that I really value the most is the tradition of service. and the participation in service. All of our students participate in some form or another, and it can be locally in the community of North Canton or globally. And I think that's just such an important developmental piece of our students' experience at Walsh, and they really take that with them beyond their college experience.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jesse. Next up, we have Shawnee State University.
Hi, thank you. All right, this one's going to sound a little bit goofy, but one of the biggest and one of my favorite events on campus is zombies versus humans. We do a big Nerf gun fight over the weekend where you want to try and survive and be a human at the end. It's a big part of our student programming board and student activities and goes along with one of our groups. So even our upper class students participate, and it's a really fun event.
Thanks a lot, Amanda. Next up, we have Youngstown State University.
So I would say, we have this big rock on campus, and every student needs to paint the rock at least once. And we also have, like, during Welcome Week, we have a lot of fun activities that any student, whether they're a new freshman or a transfer student, and there's always a really long line at Stuff the Penguin. It's kind of like Build-A-Bear, but you go and you stand in line and you get a penguin, because YSU are the penguins, and people always stand in line for an hour just to get this stuffed penguin. So that's something fun, and I see all students like walking around with their penguins. So those are just probably the top couple that I can think of.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for sharing, Kim. And we're going to wrap up with the University of Cincinnati.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, it's hard to beat Welcome Week and UC serves, but I'm going to have to go with graduation because it's so special to see the academic colleges and the regional colleges all come together to celebrate that student success and outcome. It's definitely my favorite time of the year. And it's so rewarding to see the students that you've recruited walk that line. So I'm gonna have to go with graduation.
Absolutely, Brad. Definitely full circle there. Well, folks, we have run out of time, and I'm so sorry that we don't have enough time for more questions. I do encourage you to reach out to our panelists, and thank you so much to our panelists for sharing all the fantastic things about their institutions, and to our audience as well for coming out to understand what are your options beyond high school. So with that being said, I'd like to close it off with a couple more remarks. Once you close this window, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you could provide for us. There's more sessions to be offered, so make sure to sign up for more. And then the final reminder that I want to leave with people is that this session is being recorded. In about a week, you can find it at strivescan.com/Ohio. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and I hope that everyone has a great evening.